The beautiful game, the complete history of football. Part 1, the birth of the game. Long before massive stadiums, roaring crowds, and billion-dollar tournaments, football was just a simple game played by ordinary people. In dusty villages, open fields, and schoolyards, children would kick a ball made from cloth, leather, or even bundled rags. No one imagined that this simple activity would one day become the most popular sport on earth. Football's earliest roots can be traced back thousands of years. One of the oldest known games similar to football was called Cuju, played in ancient China during the Han Dynasty. Soldiers used this game as a form of training. They kicked a leather ball into a small net without using their hands. The purpose was to improve agility, balance, and teamwork. At the same time, other civilizations also had games involving a ball and feet. In ancient Greece, a game called episkouros was played by soldiers and athletes. In ancient Rome, a similar game known as harpastum became popular among Roman troops. These games were rough, chaotic, and often had very few rules. But even though these ancient games were exciting, they were not yet the football we know today. Centuries passed, and in medieval Europe, a new form of football began to appear. In towns across England, villagers played massive football games between entire neighborhoods. Hundreds of people could participate at once. The goal was simple: move the ball to a specific location in the opposing village. There were no referees, there were no time limits, and sometimes the games lasted for hours. These matches were incredibly rough. Players pushed, kicked, and tackled each other with almost no restrictions. Because of the chaos and injuries, several English kings even tried to ban football completely. King Edward II issued a royal decree in 1314 banning the game in London. Later rulers repeated similar bans, claiming football was too dangerous and distracting people from military training. But despite these bans, people continued playing. Football had already captured the hearts of ordinary citizens. By the 1800s, the Industrial Revolution was transforming society in Britain. Cities were growing rapidly, and schools began introducing organized sports to teach discipline, teamwork, and physical fitness. Football quickly became one of the most popular games in British schools. However, there was a big problem. Every school had its own rules. Some schools allowed players to carry the ball with their hands. Others allowed only kicking. Some permitted tackling, while others banned physical contact entirely. Because of these differences, matches between schools often ended in arguments and confusion. Something had to change. In 1863, representatives from several football clubs met in London to create a universal set of rules for the game. This historic meeting led to the formation of the Football Association. This moment changed sports history forever. The Football Association created the first official rules of modern football. These rules banned carrying the ball with hands and focused on kicking and passing. This decision separated football from another sport that would later become known as rugby. For the first time, football had a clear identity. Players could now compete under the same rules, and organized competitions began to appear across England. Football clubs started forming in cities and towns. Workers, students, and communities created teams that represented their neighborhoods and factories. Soon, local rivalries turned into major events, drawing crowds of spectators. One of the oldest football clubs in the world, Sheffield FC, was founded in 1857. It helped shape many of the early ideas that would influence the modern game. By the late 1800s, football had become deeply embedded in British culture. Stadiums were built, leagues were formed, and professional players began earning money to play the game they loved. But football's journey was only beginning. British sailors, merchants, and workers carried the game with them to different parts of the world, from South America to Asia. What started as a local British pastime was quickly becoming a global phenomenon, setting the stage for the international competitions and legendary players we know today.